Hello and welcome to Infamous, the audio podcast. This is Brandon, or Mutilus on Discord.
This is Parker. Go by I Want to Parks on Discord.
Saren, I go by Treffenwood on Discord.
This is Josh. I go by Gumazog on Discord.
I think we that was a really good intro, guys. Good job. Really good intro. I think we introed the shit out of that.
Best intro ever.
Yeah, it was very seamless.
You know, this says something.
If it wasn't for this conversation I'm starting right now,
God.
people wouldn't even know that.
This is the nature of our relationships. As soon as you said that, I immediately began scrambling to look for the thing we didn't do or the thing I forgot.
Yeah,
Because, I was like, oh no, what did I fuck up? Like, did we clap?
No,
did I not clap? What fuck did I do?
No, it was just really smooth. Like we were really.
I know
it only took 705 attempts, and we've really got this down to a science.
But the thing I'm taking away from this is I only trust you to be sarcastic.
I think you're just paranoid. I don't think that has anything to do with me. I think you're just paranoid.
Okay. You know what? Yeah. That's how I'll take it now. I'll take it that way, and not that it is a comment about our relationship, but rather it's
the
just
mental derangement that you happen to have. That's nothing to do with me.
Yeah. What was I thinking?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I got Jeremy really good with one at the shop yesterday, or Tuesday, I guess. But he walked face first into a dad joke. It was great. Anyway, all right. Let's see. We have no real news, right? Oh, I have some news. I saw Fantastic Four First Steps.
What'd you think?
Parker, I assume you've also seen it?
No, I have not.
You what?
I have been. Fine. I've been on the Great Vacationing, and I just finished it like 2 days ago, and so now I'm working again, and it means my life is returning to normal, and I have like time for all the things that I do in a routine. But no, I have been vacationing only. So I guess no spoilers. Sorry.
Okay. Second, well, I wasn't going to give spoilers anyway. Overall, I liked it. I don't like the Fantastic Four particularly when it comes to superheroes. So like, I liked it, but I wasn't like thrilled by it or anything. I put it upper middle of the pack. It was fine. No complaints. I think, without giving away any spoilers, the antagonist I think was done really well. And the protagonists were also done solid, but I don't know. I'm not a Fantastic Four fan, I think was the big problem for me not giving it like a 9 out of 10.
I find that the Fantastic Four, all the Fantastic Four, and because I've read so much of the Fantastic Four titles, every single one that they take place on Earth is so uninteresting. Like it's so uninteresting.
Yeah.
But every time they've gone to the stars or like traveled through time or like they're really great Robinson Crusoe analog, right? Like a family of adventurers,
Lost in Space kind of stuff.
Argonauts. Yeah, all those stories are super fascinating because it pushes the fact that they're all like problem solvers and with different strengths, but when they're just on Earth, like living in the Baxter Building, being the best family in the Marvel Universe, like I go, yeah, fine. It's just super boring. Even when some of their stories are fun, I'd be interested to know how they do it in the movie without boring me.
Yeah. So 2 things. First, I think you're really gonna like it.
Okay.
Second, I spoke to your very good friend Jim, and he is also a Fantastic Four fan. And he really liked it. He was like, great, almost perfect, like very good job. And he's read a lot of the comics for them as well. And he said that they were very well portrayed in the movie. So
okay,
we'll see if you like it.
I'm excited I'm excited to have my low expectations met because I have very low expectations for Fantastic Four, as everyone should. It should be low.
Hands down, best F4 movie ever. Like, not close.
Ugh, that is such a low bar.
I know, right? It's like you just said, like, I like ice cream. The sentence, like you said, basically nothing.
I picture the bar like being like this, like at the height of a piece of crown molding on your floor, just like 2 inches.
I know, right?
And you're over it. It would be like saying the best Daredevil movie ever. You're just like, ugh.
I think the Daredevil movie was unfairly maligned for what you should have expected from it. Because again, this was like before the MCU, before Iron Man, before anything. Like it was just like should not have been good. And it was not good.
When people
that was it.
When people use that excuse for like Elektra and Blade, I always point at Sorry, for Elektra and Daredevil, I always point
I
at
was saying,
Blade.
hold on, I never said
No.
anything about Lecture.
No,
Don't put words in my mouth. That movie sucked.
When they
Okay.
when they say those movies, you know, were before a time of a sophisticated universe building, I always point at Blade, right? Like no, it's possible
Blade,
to make a really cool, really good movie that stands by itself based on a comic book before before Iron Man 1. Like, it's possible. But
yeah. Anyway, so if you ask me, I think it was more an issue of they chose characters that people weren't like huge fans of. Like, why are we doing Daredevil movies and Blade movies and Elektra movies? Like, before we even got like an X-Men movie based, like I think X-Men actually came out about the same time.
Right.
But it was like, come on, like just take the low-hanging fruit, like make people happy. Anyway, there's one last question I have for you on recent media. Have you watched Ironheart? And if not, have you seen any spoilers for it?
I have not watched any. The only spoilers I've seen is the internet has sent me a bunch of really fluffy, look how derpy this is, and everything I've seen is super negative. But
okay.
I think it might be an overreaction. I get the impression that it is, so I'm waiting to be pleasantly surprised by it. And however, the internet is roasting it so hard that I don't. Well, usually when it does that, I can't trust it.
Yeah, again,
So.
you should never listen to the internet when it comes to reviewing things. So, because people are just, either A, rage baiting or B, click farming. So just ignore them. I think you have to watch it. Parker specifically.
Oh, okay.
It's only 6 episodes, right? Like, it'll take no time. If you get to the 3rd episode and you still don't like it, then stop watching. But I think you will enjoy it. I watched it. I thought it was fine. It was not really bad by any means, and it was not really good either. So it's just fine.
I am hoping that they depart from the comics, because I feel like I really struggled. Like, as a character concept, I thought it was a really cool one, and so I read some of her like solo title stuff, and I was like, wow, I am so bored by this. Like, I don't like, kind of like the Fantastic Four thing. I was just like, I'm waiting to be interested in any of this. And I think part of the reason was the stuff that I read was specifically designed for a younger audience. Like, they wanted to appeal to young people with Ironheart, right? And so I think that's part of the reason, is that they were taking that tactic, and it was just less sophisticated than the stuff I like in comics. But so I'm interested in seeing how they do this. We'll see.
I do not think they stick to the traditional Ironheart comic storylines.
Okay.
I think they fabricated the storyline, but again, I'm not an expert. But I think that's why you should watch it, as the storyline. I think you will enjoy it more than most people will.
I got disappointed by the latest season of Love, Death, and Robots. I don't know if you guys have ever watched any of those shorts that Netflix does. They're sci-fi shorts. The first 3 seasons blew me away. I really loved them, but this 4th season felt like, the word I would use is like kind of rushed. Like, I haven't done any sleuthing at all on the internet, but I wonder if the production was rushed or something happened to like not allow it to go to fruition, because I feel like all the episodes were very short. They weren't bad. They were just very short shorts.
Maybe.
And I didn't leave any of them. Like, there are multiple episodes in the first 3 seasons that I left the episode going like, whoa, that was very impactful. Like, that was 8 minutes of, I am kind of dazed by this awesome short story writing, right? Sci-fi short story. And that did not happen once. To let you know how forgettable it was, Netflix just began playing other episodes. Like, it just it immediately went from season 4 to other episodes. And I was like, oh, okay, this must be the next one. And after like 4 minutes, I was like, wait, I've seen this one. And then I had to go back and realize it was over, because that's how fast and unremarkable they were. Is I sped through them without even really stopping to chew on any of them. But so I was disappointed by season 4. That's my small critique of them. But if you've never seen the first 3 seasons, hard recommend for anybody who appreciates sci-fi. Very hard recommend.
Cool.
It has been on my watch list for a long time, but that list is longer every week. So
the thing I liked about him, is the episodes were anywhere between 5 to like 14 minutes long. So if you literally like during a commercial break, you could almost watch one, right? Like it was like I think I watched one season while I was watching the Chiefs. Like that's how like I watched it once, or like a Chiefs game. Um, and so it is possible to watch, like popcorn. It's very much a snack food. Some of the episodes are very deep, impactful, awesome stories. Some are horror. Some are kind of like Black Mirror esque, where they ask you about things about technology. But some of them are just righteous, badass action sci-fi, right? Um, that I still think about sequences from some of those episodes. Definitely would bang, Aaron. If that's to the nomenclature you prefer.
I mean,
Watch out, Aaron.
all life is ones and zeros, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know which one you are.
All right. Anybody played any good new video games lately?
Nope.
I have been playing small amounts of the not as good Battlefront 2 Star Wars game with my little brother. It's been okay. It's just fun. It was like $8, and we like to keep an eye out for like those fun kind of shooter games where we can just hop on, kill stuff together. So
Cool.
Because of the great vacationing that I've been on, I've been replaying Pokemon games. That's been kind of fun, actually.
excellent choice. What have you been playing?
So I have been like hard into the end game or the post game for Pokemon Sun. And that's what I did most of this last half of summer. But for Father's Day, my girls got me Omega Ruby, and I'm really excited to try that because I never played a game with Mega Evolutions. I guess Pokemon Sun technically has them, but you have to play a lot of the end game before you unlock one. It's not like a key part of the plot or anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, I have been really enjoying the post game of Sun, and just the slow grind of, I'd never have caught them all. I don't want to catch them all. It has zero interest to me. But I love the battle tower or the battle tree or the battle realm or whatever the post game battle fighting sequences are. I really enjoy those endless, AI battle challenges. So putting together teams, breeding the perfect mon, and having a good time. It's been fun.
Do you play casually or do you do Nuzlocke?
I have
You know what
never.
Nuzlocke is?
I have never. Yes, I'm very aware. I have never nuzlocked. Although maybe I might for Omega Ruby. It might be fun. That could be fun. Yeah, and that wouldn't stop me. Like I would just finish the game. I just finish the nuzlocke and still do the post game. Because my favorite part of every Pokemon game has been the post game. I kind of blaze through the the Elite Four until the post game, and then I have fun, and then I like go back and do everything you can do. But Nuzlocke, you can still do that. In fact, you probably go a little faster because you don't stop to try to catch anything on the way, right? You're not trying to make the perfect team. You just get the team you get. So
Yeah, you get the
it could
team
be
you
fun.
get. So
Yeah,
No-
I'd be willing to do that.
Nuzlocke has ruined Pokemon for me because now I can't play it any other way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I have, I don't know, 3,000 hours on Pokemon Heart Gold, just doing Nuzlocks over and over and over. And it's like, because the thing with Pokemon is it's just rock, paper, scissors expanded. And so once you understand all the little setups
Nearly
and stuff,
infinitely, but yeah.
yeah, once you understand all the little setups and stuff, then it becomes, there's no more challenge to the games. And so I love a good challenge. And so with a Nuzlocke, forcing yourself to have like subpar, because you could just get bad Pokemon and you're like, well, I have to use this.
Do you want to explain this for people that don't know what Nuzlocke means?
So in general, there are a bunch of different ways to do Nuzlocke, but Nuzlocke is a way to play Pokemon in that you don't get to choose, like, so each route that you go through, you have to capture the first Pokemon you come across, and you have to use that to build your team. Yeah. Yes. If a Pokemon is knocked out, you cannot use it anymore. Then there are expanded rules, like you can only use the amount of Pokemon that a gym leader has. You have to, generally, the general rules, you have to level cap to the gym leader. So, like, if their highest level Pokemon is 17, you cannot use anything that goes past 17. And it's creating, I guess, what you'd consider like arbitrary challenges in order to make the game hard, because Pokemon itself is not hard, and it's super like
it's solvable for sure.
It's solvable, and it's also generally before each gym at some point you can catch something that one Pokemon can sweep a whole gym. Like you just type advantage it, and you're like, I win. Cool.
Sure. Yeah, I just wanted you to explain the concept to people.
Yes.
You just say the word Nuzlocke. There's probably a lot of non-Pokemon players that don't know what that means.
There's also one of my favorite stipulations is you have to name every Pokemon. That's one of my favorite ones because the whole point is that you get attached to them, and when when one faints, it's gone, and so it creates like an emotional tether, because otherwise, the Pokemon feel very expendable, and so the idea is that on purpose you are trying to attach yourself, so you make capturing the Pokemon is more intense and fun because the first one you find is the one you get, and so there's automatically like an emotional tether there. But then you have to reinforce that by naming them always. You can't have a Pokemon without a name. So
that is a core rule of Nuzlocke, is you have to name.
Yeah.
You're basically playing on roleplay mode with hardcore rules.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'd kind of been doing the opposite. I've been playing the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu on the Switch. It's the only Pokemon game I've ever played. Really, I guess I think like the original Red on my Game Boy, but I only had that for like a week, and so.
There is an emulator that you can download on your phone that lets you play any of the Pokemon. So that's what I do.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of it. I used to do. I did Yellow for a bit back in the day when it was still really clunky to do emulators on your phone. But yeah, it's just easier to do it on the Switch.
Yeah.
But yes, I before the first time I played it was kind of just like nostalgia reasons. Like I played it when it first came out, and just to kind of get the feel of Pokemon that I had never really experienced when I was a kid. Even though I was into Pokemon culture because all my friends did it, and we would always hang out together. And I would watch them play, but I never had the game myself. So when it came out on the Switch, I got it and played through it. But it was more just like casual playthrough.
Yeah.
And so this time when I went through, I started looking into like actual like theory behind the combat, like optimization and stuff, and like how to optimize Pokemon stats and like natures and stuff like that, and like comboing abilities and things. So I looked into all that stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. And so I started like doing deep theory on like good teams and stuff. But because Let's Go is based in first gen, but they've future proofed, I guess, or however you want to call it. They basically have brought everything to rules for Gen 7, but they only allow you to have Pokemon that were in the original 151.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So their timeline is their current, basically, or recent. But you can't play with all the stuff. So there's massive holes in the meta that you can't fill like you can in the new games. But technically, it's all like combat effective as if it was Gen 7. So you've still got like Steel and Fairy type and stuff, but you don't have the people that actually are in those spots. And so it's interesting because it's not Gen 1 and it's definitely not Gen 7. It's some weird amalgamation. And so because of that, you end up with some weird spots.
Let's Go Pikachu is the one I'm trying to train my 5-year-old nephew to play, because I desire Pokemon buddies, and I read about a kid that was like 6, because I used to do like not travel or anything, but I would do the competitive tournaments like online. Like I would just download Smogon and play super sweaty Pokemon all the time. And I read about a kid that was like 6 going to the nationals or something. I was like, I have a nephew that's almost 6. I will train him to be a Pokemon master. And it is entirely infuriating because he like finds it interesting, but he can't read. So that doesn't really help being able to like choose different attacks. And then James, you'll probably never hear this, but he has the dumbest naming conventions for his Pokemon. because he wants to name them all, right? He's named 2 of them after himself. So he has like a Rattata and a Nidoran named James. Okay, he has a oddish name Akshu, like when you sneeze. He has a Nidoran female named Bowser, a Pidgey named Kung Fu Panda, and then he has 2 Pikachus named Mario and Luigi. Like I'm playing, I'm like, what do you want to name this? And like I always do like themes for my naming. He's like, I don't know. Let's name it Bowser. I was like, okay, well, this is a Rattata. You already have a Bowser Nidoran, like that clearly is theme. He's like, I think I like Bowser. And I think, my phone's charging. I think I have a screenshot. Like, his name's, he's 5, so I'm trying to be patient. But his naming conventions just drive me up a wall because he has no serious
picking names he likes. He doesn't need to have any reason behind it.
Names he knows at all. His library is wee. It does not have a lot in it.
Yep. But then he only uses Pikachu. So, like, he's got a full team, and I'm like, yeah, you can, like, switch him out. He's like, nah, I'll use Pikachu, and I'll use Thundershock. And that's just how he's gone.
But it's a ground type. Still Pikachu.
Still Pikachu, still Thundershock. That's just how he goes through the game. I'm like, all right, we all got to learn somewhere.
Yeah.
My oldest has played through Sapphire, the OG Sapphire, and I didn't realize that she didn't know how to get into Sootopolis City. And she played maybe 9 hours without being able to get to Sootopolis City. So I she's like, I don't know how to get to this last gym, and I was like, oh, okay. So I looked up the playthrough again to be like, okay, you got to get to Sootopolis by doing this, by diving and going into this thing that looks like a mountain. She goes, oh, okay. And so while I was diving, I went into a random battle, and I pulled out her Marsh Stomp. Her Marsh Stomp was level 87. What she had done for 9 hours was just send Marsh Stomp at random wild Pokemon and just grinded 45 levels into this Marsh Stomp. And so, and I was like, dang, CC, what were you attacking? She's like, I was mostly surfing. And I was like, so you're to it was not even effective hits. She goes, oh yeah, sometimes it would take 2 or 3 hits to knock something down at first. And so she was just spending a huge amount of time poorly leveling a Pokemon until it became king shit a fuck mountain. And now
that's hilarious.
Because I told her the whole game, because she was, it was her first Pokemon game. I was like, just so you know, you should have a plan for the Elite Four, because the Elite Four will have, certain Pokemon. So if you don't have any Pokemon for one of the Elite Four, the chances of you completing the game are much lower. And so she goes, okay, so we made a plan for them. And then I found her Marsh Stomp was level 87. And she goes, do you think I could beat the Elite Four? I go, you will crush them all with this one Pokemon, just bitch slapping everything left and right. So don't worry about it. And she's like, okay, yay, Marsh Stomp. But she was very proud of herself for her infinite string of Marsh Stomp she made.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good example of Pokemon being solvable. It's like if you just max out the level on something, you'll just be able to walk through most content.
Right.
Okay, so let's move past the Pokemons. I'm still playing Meet Your Maker, the puzzle FPS game. It is very good. I like it a lot. Watching people die to dungeons you've built is hilarious, and it's never going to get old. Aaron, have you played any video games?
Not in the past week. I've been gone.
That's true. Let's talk about you. I want to say you knocked it off your bucket list. That sounds morbid, but you
that's fine.
crashed something off your gaming to-do list.
Oh no, it was a life bucket list. I'm ready for death, man. Come get me.
All right.
I went to Gen Con last weekend with friends / enemies of the show, Jeremy and Ryan.
Yeah, I think Ryan has just decided he hates all of us because he never wants to see us ever again.
That's basically what he said, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, by us, he means you.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
It's a you thing.
I'm going to drive to his house tomorrow.
Okay. So we all piled up, left on Wednesday. Got there Wednesday night. We chose to do our best attempt at a budget Gen Con. So I've never been to Gen Con, been to plenty of other cons though. You can either stay on or within walking distance of the convention, which has pluses, right? You can go back, went to your room when you want to. You can spend less time getting back and forth. But it's usually pretty expensive, and Gen Con might be the most expensive if you're staying at or near the venue. And option 2 is you just stay somewhere you have to drive on it. Drive into town, and whether that's a B&B or a hotel, it's kind of irrelevant. So we went for option number 2. We'll take guesses on how we succeeded or did not succeed in that endeavor.
Succeeded.
I need to know what town it's in.
Indianapolis.
It is
the actual.
It is.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's just like the most popular gaming convention in the world. So
I think there were 73,000.
Yeah, it's
73.
Yeah, no, it's a crazy amount of people.
Thousands.
It's bigger than most sporting events because at a sporting event, even like the Chiefs Stadium can get up to 70,000 people pretty easily. But like 55,000 of those people are home fans that drove from their house, so it's a different experience.
Yeah, this was. I mean, I'm sure there are locals there, but
yeah.
City went kind of nuts. So we ended up parking in a lot about a mile away, and then they had shuttles that would take us to the venue. Like our first bus driver was a PCP'd up Joker, like full costume, which was interesting driving around. But I guess the whole city gets used to it for the week. Cosplay is pretty big. Trying to pull up my schedule for what.
So you're saying he was cosplaying Joker on PCP and wasn't just dressed as the Joker while on PCP?
Number 2.
Or did he
Okay,
did he
that's
do
what I was
PCP
hoping.
and then decide to be the Joker?
That's also a possibility, but he was in the same costume all 4 days, and he was a character, personality-wise, all 4 days. So at Gen Con, there are 3 basic things you can do. Well, I lied. There's probably 15 fucking things you can do. A lot of people will go for the extracurricular RPG stuff, and by that I mean there's something called True Dungeon, which is it's like an escape room, but you get to go and you spend the first 30 minutes rolling your character, and then you go through like 9 different rooms fighting monsters with the character stats you rolled. So some combination of escape room, LARPing, and RPG. I say this as someone who's never done it, but that's my kind of impression of it. There are board games galore. So if you want to play a board game, you can go to Gen Con. There are minis, and then there are card games. And then there's just the general cosplay crowd. So it's kind of the big stuff to do there. It took about 25 minutes to walk from one corner of the expanded venue to the other corner of the expanded venue. And by that I mean each different attached hotel that was associated with the con had stuff going on in their ballrooms. Right? So picture, we normally go stay at a hotel, has stuff in their ballroom. Picture that times 5 different hotels, then the entire convention center, which might be the largest connected indoor gaming space ever, and then an underground tunnel that links to Lucas Oil Stadium, and the entire stadium field is nothing but gaming tables. So that was Gen Con.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is cuckoo pants. Now, did it feel, sometimes when you have that much space for that many things, parts of the con will be pretty empty, right? It's not like the whole con is packed with people.
Zero empty.
Zero empty.
No, yeah,
the vendor hall
shoulder to shoulder
was the most packed I've ever seen a space. I walked up one row, down a row, and said never going back in there.
Oh, that's a shame. That sounds like a shame. But if that's
Yeah.
if it felt that claustrophobic, I understand.
Okay.
Well,
I personally
a lot of people
hate
go to Gen Con just for the vendor hall, so it is usually pretty packed.
I personally
it's a lot of cannot get yet stuff.
Yep. Gen Con is known for their exclusives or their pre-orders. For instance, one of the things I got, the only thing I bought, was 4 character packs for Gloomhaven that aren't released until mid to late September. So I've got them now. My son and I will be playing with them. So Gen Con is just known for that, right? You either get stuff early or you get exclusives that are Gen Con only. So yeah, I just perused the vendor hall very quickly. It was not shoulder to shoulder, can't move. It was just a lot of people. And I'm not someone who enjoys perusing random booths. So it just wasn't for me. But yeah, like Brandon said, a lot of people go just for that. So Thursday was board game day for me. I played a tournament for Wormspan, Lord of the Rings: The Confrontation, Ticket to Ride, and Seven Wonders. Totaling 9 a.m. until 10 p.m. I will say the logistics for Gen Con was amazing.
They definitely know what they're doing.
We got our badges ahead of time. All tickets were electronic, and they were coded onto your badge. So don't lose your fucking badge. But we all showed up, and we all went our separate ways, and I stood in 0 lines all 4 days. I just knew that I needed to go to the JW Marriott, and Griffin Hall, which is their ballroom, is where the first tourney was. So I followed signs to get there, played, and then followed signs to get to Hall B in the convention center, which is where my next game was. And I just went from event to event to event to event without needing to sit in a line to get a ticket or to check in or security, none of that. So super fucking smooth. I just showed up and went to 10 events. That's all I did. So that was pretty cool.
That's fantastic.
A ton of food vendors. Go ahead.
How was the Seven Wonders tournament?
Fuck you.
I'm just curious.
What is Seven Wonders?
Okay, let me go through the tournaments real quick. Wormspan is a Euro game. I finished second in my pot of 3, and so I did not move on to the finals. That's fine. Lord of the Rings, I ended up taking that one down. It's a reprint of an early 2000s or late 90s Reiner Knizia game, which is a 2-player. It's like Stratego with Lord of the Rings. It's actually really, really good. And so a new company kind of bought the IP, and they're publishing a new one with enhanced components. So might get into that with my kid or something. Ticket to Ride, if you haven't heard about that, you can Google it and play it. What I learned is I will never, ever, ever again play Ticket to Ride the original without the 1910 expansion. Because you draw 3 tickets, and then if they don't work, you're just fucked. And that's what I was. Royally fucked. I think Ticket to Ride, Days of Wonder makes that game. And they learned, and so they published that expansion for the base that fixes that. And then every other one after that has had a fix to the what if you just draw horrible cards. Normally they give you 1 good card to start with and then 3 random ones. Anyway.
And there's also, from what I understand, there's a really competitive culture around Ticket to Ride, which leads to they've like weaponized specific tracks against the community. So let's say they've worked out that 40% of all routes go through this one passage. Mm-hmm. And so their first action is like, I build this path, and then the next guy builds that path. And now if you're holding one of those routes, you're just fucked. And so
that is a strategy.
You have to find a huge workaround. Yeah.
My pod was pretty cool. Jeremy's pod was all talking about their ELO ratings while they were cutthroating each other. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Jeremy did not have a great experience, but he was fine.
The first time I ever played Ticket to Ride was the Markland edition, which is in Germany. And so it's all German town names. And I confused all 3 of my routes with different towns. And so I completed 3 very long routes, but they're all to the wrong town. So I lost like 100 points. It was great.
Okay, then we get to the Seven Wonders tournament. Seven Wonders is a Euro game that is very much for casual gamers. Pick it up and play it with your mother-in-law, that kind of stuff. You draw 7 cards, you play 1, you pass them to your left. Play 1, pass. That's all you do every turn. Play for 3 rounds, game's over. Jeremy never played before. I said, don't worry. You play in 3 different ages, so 3 different groups of 7 cards, if you will. So in your first age, just put resource cards down. Second age and third age, play your red cards and your blue cards and pass the rest. And there's a bunch of random other ways to play the game, other rules, other victory points, symbols on the card. He just ignored everything. And the motherfucker beats me and everyone else and takes down a 7-person Seven Wonders game to get a ticket to the Sunday 9 a.m. final where he can win a die cut organizer for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was my Thursday Seven Wonders. Was Jeremy
good for
somehow...
him.
Hold it. You didn't tell him the best part, though.
Oh, what's the best part?
Jeremy said, I ain't doing that. I got something to do that day.
Oh, yeah, we get there.
Didn't even go.
Yeah. And then he vacated his spot in the final, which technically would have gone to me, but I also had other things I preferred to do. So, yeah, that was Thursday.
I think that's the happiest I've seen Jeremy in like a year, is when he told me that story.
He was incredibly, and will forever be incredibly happy since he will never again play that game. So he will be the champion for his life of Seven Wonders.
Yep.
Minor nitpick about life in the United States is everything fucking shuts down at 10 p.m. So since we gamed until 10, our choices for dinner were McDonald's or Taco Bell. That was
It's
it.
usually Steak and Shake from what I hear.
There weren't any on our route back to the hotel, so
Okay.
yeah, that was shitty, but whatever. The next 2 days.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just saying it's a sad fact about the Midwest. It's the only thing I dislike about it.
Next 2 days, I played Blood Bowl. I ended up winning on Friday and going undefeated, yet not winning on Saturday because I tied. Played a super interesting game against someone playing extremely slow, and so I was taking my turns in record time, playing against both her and the clock to make sure that I didn't clock out it, because she scored first, and then I was like, okay, I have to score 2 touchdowns and make sure it happens before time happens. I pulled it off, so that was a personal accomplishment. Had a lot of fun with Blood Bowl, 5 wins and 2 draws. Tried to play 7 Wonders again, but this time, instead of the 7 people who had signed up, there was only me and another guy who showed up, and you can't play with more than, or with less than 3. He was so he and his buddies travel to Gen Con every year for competitive Axis and Allies. They're like the best,
Fascinating.
his buddies like 2 of the best people in the world. So they played their 3-person, yesterday. And today was just a 2-person tournament, and so he, being the runt of the litter, got kicked out and had to go find other games to play. So he was kind of sad that we weren't going to get to play 7 Wonders, so I played him in a casual pickup game of Lords of Waterdeep. That was pretty fun.
Now, see, the concept of like a bunch of tabletop pickup games makes sense for like a tabletop kind of centered con, but internationally competitive Monopoly just sounds fucking weird to me. Like I don't like, and that comes from somebody who spent
Sure.
a lot of his life playing tabletop games competitively. But that seems a little odd because aren't
mean-
a lot of these games pretty much solved? Like, can't you solve them? I mean, there are a few that aren't clearly, but
Do you mean board games or tabletop?
board games. Sorry,
Okay.
tabletop board games. I'm talking about board games. Yeah.
I mean, Ticket to Ride isn't solved. Like, there
Okay.
can be better strategies. You can try different strategies. You can try
Yeah.
the fuck your neighbor strategy Brandon was talking about. You can try, I'm just doing long routes. Like, I don't care what my routes are. I'm just playing long trains. So there are various things you can do, and obviously the interaction with where your opponents go influences the game. So what it is not is extremely competitive, because I drew cards, got fucked, had 0 chance of winning off the gate. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
That's really what breaks the randomness. Is the route you draw is really important for how you react to it. But yeah, have you played Ticket to Ride, Parker?
I think I played it once.
Okay.
And again, it was not a bad. I'm not saying any of these games. This is not a comment
No,
on the
I
quality
know.
of the games.
Yeah.
It's really just a comment on the idea that because I'm so used to tabletop miniatures or CCGs in which the amount of variability is so insane, right? The nuance is so insane that I can imagine a competitive tournament. But when you said competitive tournament for like Ticket to Ride, I go, what? Like I just don't. I can't.
Yep.
Not.
Yeah.
I can
I think Ticket
picture
to
a
Ride
bunch
is
of-
one of the more competitive board games out there because
Yeah.
it's somewhat predictable, but because the different routes and the different maps and the different opponent strategies you'll deal with throughout your different games, it does have a lot of replayability while also staying competitive. And so I think it's one of the better ones.
But I guess one of the things that I'm thinking about is almost, and here maybe this is actually where I'm coming from. All the examples I think of when I think of competition are almost all binary, right? Like it's almost always 1v1, right? That's like the paradigm that I imagine. And so imagining 6 people sitting down and the victor of that 6-person game advances is just a shift that I have never considered because I've never played that game ever for any format, and so that's interesting.
Oh, sure. There was definitely, like in our 7 Wonders game on Thursday, Jeremy won because one person played card X on the last turn instead of Y, which meant that someone else, his army wasn't as strong or he got beat. Bottom line, they mathed it out to where this other guy would have won if he'd have played a different card. That guy didn't know. Like, he didn't purposely play a card to screw this other guy. He was doing what was best for him. Anyway, so yes, there is definitely a lot of, which is why all of these I just took a huge fucking grain of salt. And I didn't worry about it, right? For reasons you're talking about. Like, I just went for the experience for these board games. Because I played them all. Like, oh, let's just try them at Gen Con.
To say
I
you
did have
played it like a competitive tournament for this game you like at Gen Con, that's that's part of the bucket list, right? That's nothing wrong with
No,
it. I
just
picture-
going to Gen Con was a bucket list, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday, I actually had a bad experience. I played Terraforming Mars in a tournament, which is it's a really cool game. I hadn't played it in a while, and so I messed up a rule or two, which is fine. Toward the end of the game, I messed up a big rule, which was I just thought you got victory points for X instead of Y, and it turns out I threw away all of X for absolutely no reason. Like, was legitimately just tossing my resources off of my board. And then they're like, "Oh no, it's not the amount you generate per turn; it's that total amount." And I'm like, "Oh well, then clearly I wouldn't have just thrown away 10 resources." And they're like, "Oh well." I'm like, "Okay, like whatever, I don't care." But then the guy next to me, like he was doing takesies backsies all game. Like he would, 2 turns ago I forgot I was supposed to get a discount when I played that card, so I'm gonna get 2 resources now or something. I was like, I don't care, whatever. The other people were fine with it. But then at the end of the game, when they're doing math and calculating points, he told me, "Yeah, you really shouldn't have done that because you'd have finished second, but it's a tournament." I'm like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
I want to fucking strangle you right now."
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of the random, like, casual / competitive events I've played in.
So it's interesting because a lot of, I'm going to call them 20-ish dudes are probably the best board game strategic players as a generalization, right? Because both the people who won the Wormspan tourney and this guy, he lost, but he was like super uptight, like nervous, leg shaking the whole time, and he totally 100% knew all the cards. And I was like, just chill out, dude. It's not that big a deal. As you get older, you learn to just chill out and not take shit so seriously. Anyway, so it was just interesting between the 2 games I saw. Very interesting to see the dynamic between 20-year-olds and 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
Had no problems with the 50-year-olds, let's put it that way. So what this taught me was that I was glad to have done it all. I would definitely never go back just to play board games at Gen Con. I also would probably never go back to play tabletop games because I think tabletop games are dying at Gen Con. Jeremy took second in MCP in his heat of 8 total players.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say there that he was a big fish in a very, very small pond.
I mean, he's 7 Wonders champion, Jeremy Constance.
Yeah.
And MCP Heat finalist.
Are you besmirching Jeremy?
1,000 fucking percent.
Okay, good.
I'm just saying, all the other games, AOS, 40K, like those aren't big, and it seems like they're getting smaller and smaller. That's not why people go to Gen Con. It's so big and so expensive that if you can play 40K somewhere for a third of the money, do that and skip Gen Con. And I think more and more people are coming to that realization. I say this not having gone before this year, but it just seemed like that from talking to people, the minis games were on the way down, if you will.
Okay. So I've known a bunch of people that have gone to Gen Con a bunch of times. I've never gone to either. I think that's been the case for a very long time. I don't think Gen Con was ever intended to be a miniatures-centric event, but I know that it's kind of been the second priority for most people that go to Gen Con that do play miniatures games. It's always like the secondary. As where Adepticon, it's reversed. It's definitely the primary is the miniatures games, and then they have some board games. They have some other events. And so I've always prioritized going to other events, not to mention it's so expensive compared to everything else.
Why? What has driven the price of Gen Con so sky high? Is it just
the demand?
Yeah. Okay.
72,000 people
the
and
demand.
sold out all 4 days.
Yeah.
So, having said that, question, not counting the actual con, like all the logistics for getting there, hotel, parking, gas, all that whatnot. What do you think the breakdown was per person for attendance to Gen Con this year?
$2,000.
Not
Per
staying on
person.
site. Per person.
Not
Like, what did
staying
I
on
ask
site.
Jeremy and Ryan to pay me?
Not counting their ticket costs?
Not counting their ticket cost, correct.
Just food, just room.
Yeah.
Just room.
Well, room, parking
Parking.
was
Okay.
not cheap, and then gas. And it was 35 minutes
Okay.
away, so we had gas there, then gas back and forth every day. And car maintenance.
And you guys all rode together?
Yeah.
You stayed
we're counting
35
that.
minutes away. That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah. No, yeah, like, so I know from people that, like, a hotel room can be over $1,000 a night if you're on site.
That's
like,
crazy.
they jack the prices up because they know, like,
Yeah.
you know, there's 70,000 people want this room. Fuck off! I'm going to charge you $1,200. Like, I don't care.
Not any cheaper on a B&B or Verbo.
Yeah, and so if you're anywhere close, it's like search pricing. It's just insane. I would guess. So it was 4 nights stay.
4 nights stay.
4 nights stay divided 4 ways, 3
3
ways.
ways.
Okay, so we're doing 1.3 cost plus gas, and I would guess it was like $600 a person bare minimum for the weekend.
I was gonna say 500.
Bare minimum.
I was gonna say 500,
Yeah.
but that's because you're staying so far away. But I might be way off.
Well, I'm going to do
Yeah, I would guess you're
700.
probably paying. Yeah, I would guess you're doing $500 or $50 each for the travel, and then just to Indianapolis. Then I would guess your room breakdown was about $500 a person. Then I would guess you probably spent about another $100 for daily trips for like gas and parking and stuff. Actually, hold on, parking. I'm gonna go 701.
Okay. Josh?
Fucking got him. No, he said 700. We're locked
Oh,
in.
he
You,
says that.
okay,
Okay.
well, I do 702 because you changed your answer.
No, nope, too late. It's
It's
702.1.
So,
Uh,
Yeah, I hope you're gonna say a number larger than anything we said.
Actual retail price $275.
That's very cheap. That's
Wow.
very, very cheap.
And that includes car maintenance, not just gas. Like, because I charge people
Feels-
maintenance when I drive,
reasonable.
which is about just take your gas price and double it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's why we stayed 35 minutes away, because the hotel was $75 a night. And we figured if you're staying anywhere you have to drive, like if I have to get in the car and drive somewhere and you're not close enough to walk, it's probably a minimum of 10 minutes. Otherwise, you'd just be walking.
Yeah.
And so what's the difference between 10 and 35? Like, okay,
Yeah.
an extra 50 minutes total round trip, like whatever. And at that point, that's where I was able to find decent hotels in a good neighborhood that cost what it did. So, yeah. So I really think we knocked it out of the park in terms of attending Gen Con on a budget.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. That sounds like a really good deal.
Now, there are still the negatives of you just have to drive and park and wait. It wasn't as convenient as staying nearby. But if the goal is budget versus convenience, I'd be hard pressed to do it better.
Well, I can't imagine you would stay anywhere within walking distance and it'd be less than like $1,000. If you looked into those prices.
I did. I don't think it was that much per night. I want to say somewhere 500 to 700.
But that's per night divided by 3.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. It was like 500
So if it's
per night.
4 nights at 700, that's 2,800 divided by 3 is close to $1,000.
Per person would have been significantly more expensive. So
And you're walking blocks, if not miles. So
now, obviously, if you get part of their hotel block, it's probably a lot cheaper. I don't know exactly what the hotels cost if you're part of the block, but we didn't even make our decision to go until that was like way months past.
Yeah.
This was a last minute
And
Gen Con decision.
yeah, from what I hear, those sell out even faster than Adepticon does.
I think you put your name in the queue and you just get a notification that says you either got one or
You
didn't.
got it or you didn't. You
Yeah,
won the lottery.
I think it's a lottery, as
Mhm.
opposed to Adepticon, which was there's no lottery. They just open at a certain time. You better hope your fingers are pretty fucking
Mhm.
fast.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was my Gen Con experience. Any questions?
We covered most of my questions. I was going
I-
to mostly ask about the priority of miniatures games, but we already talked about that. So
I have a question. Why is everyone going to play Blood of Flames? What's
Flesh
the name
and
of the movie?
Blood.
Flesh and
It's
Blood.
Blood of Flames.
Flesh and Blood. It's a card game. In my opinion, it's probably the best active card game on the market right now, and so they're not wrong in choosing it as what they think is a good card game. But I think Jeremy's just looking for a new competitive game.
How did you find this, Aaron? Were you with him when it happened, or was he off doing his own thing?
So no, Jeremy has always been interested in Flesh and Blood. So he had tickets for a demo for Flesh and Blood. Well before the con. Like it was one of the things he was going to do. He was just going to go to demo.
Cool.
So he was very not. Actually, he hadn't had his bad experience with Marvel yet. So I'm not sure what spurred him because on Friday he had his demo and he immediately bought. I'm not going to say an obscene amount of cards, but a healthy. Let's call it a healthy amount of cards.
Mm-hmm.
And he was super excited for it. So Ryan and I got a demo on Saturday. Ryan bought a bunch of cards. I, being the sane
No,
part of the bunch, was
surprise.
like, fuck you guys. No, I'm not buying a bunch of cards. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why you're just randomly buying hundreds of dollars worth of random cardboard. It's
I
crazy.
can explain to Parker why Jeremy bought it.
Okay.
I mean,
Three
I'm excited
things.
to talk to him about it too, but go ahead.
I know, but I can explain it to you in a way that you'll understand. So
Okay.
3 things. First of all, it's just reskinned UFS. It's
Okay.
the same concepts, very similar base concepts. It's a different game, but like it's the closest game it is UFS.
Okay.
Second, the skin that they put over it is dark fantasy.
Okay. He's all about
And
that.
then the third thing is Jeremy bought reading glasses. So that's
Hey.
the 3 reasons he's getting into a collectible card game.
It sounds like a David Letterman list. I am not surprised that they bought that kind of stuff because I have gotten the con impulse buy fever before. It is fun
Mm-hmm.
and exciting to be in the con and to get into it on that floor. Like it is always fun to be there and do that. That's how Judgment kind of started, right? Like did you guys just buy a bunch right then?
Yeah, Warfare.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah. So like it was like it is fun to do that, and sometimes it pays off. So I'm excited for him to try. I did not know the question I have for him. We don't talk about him like he's can't be found, but I am excited to find out. I had no idea he even played a CCG before. Like that kind of surprises me. So.
Apparently, it was hardcore into Magic way back when.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also played Netrunner. He's always been into card games.
I've always
hasn't been a good card game for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been intrigued by card games, but never played one because at the end of the day, I look at the money. I'm like, fuck no. That's kind of still how I am. Perrin is super interested. I made the mistake of asking him to like look at some stuff on the way back while we were driving back, and he like spent 3 hours watching videos, and now he's like deep in the jank tank of building lists and stuff. So there's a good chance I will put like $50 towards a deck, like each. So we'll have something that we could play. I'm planning on showing up to the shop tomorrow and playing one of Jeremy's decks and just getting my butt kicked with the local crowd there. Seeing what they have in terms of like support for new players, like here's like 5 boxes of bulk, take what you want, or not. Like I have no idea what to expect, but they
won't bring it unless you tell them, but they're very willing to help out.
Sure. So we're just gonna I'm just gonna play one of Jeremy's like precog decks tomorrow, and we'll figure it out. The actual gameplay is fun. It's good. My entire issue with the game, with even getting into it, is just the cost. So you can play a budget deck for $50, right? But that deck is just better with better cards. And so if you actually want to compete seriously, it's going to be $1,200. I'm like, well, fuck, I don't get it. Like some part of my brain does not compute, and I have a hard time getting over the hump. Yeah.
So I've talked to the guys before, and they've tried to get me into the game. The big thing that raises the price on the deck is there's very specific chase rares that are just objectively better than other ones, but most of them are your starting equipment pieces, and those are really expensive. The cards you put in your deck really aren't that bad. They say like even the most expensive deck you're really going to find it might be $200, but the problem is if you want to play like the meta characters, there might be $400 worth of starting equipment you want to buy. But you can make do with budget versions of them. It's just like, well, instead of blocking 3 damage, it blocks 2 damage. Like, or it doesn't have this keyword that you want. Like, it's just little stuff like that you can get around. Or you can just play off-meta stuff and not have to buy those things.
Well, I don't even think it's necessarily off-meta. It's just actually worse.
No, you play heroes that like can't use that equipment, so you don't have to buy it.
Sure, but without getting too deep into the woods, you have 4 cards and you have a held card. And so on your turn, you could play a maximum of 5 cards. There's a card that you can play that forces your opponent to discard their held card, which is super powerful. That card costs $80.
Yeah.
It is a staple in a number of competitive decks.
Yes.
So that's $240.
How many?
You can play 3 copies.
You got to play 3
copies of each. 3 copies of each card. So the max you could play is 3. People would play more if they could. Competitively, right? So that's an example. So I'm with you. There are some equipment that costs $120, and that can be downgraded with very little impact to how the deck plays, for the most part. But that that one card that I just talked about takes your. You can have a card that does the same amount of damage without that forced discard, which is just objectively worse. Like game losing worse. And if you do that, let's say with 2 other card types, that's what takes the deck from like 200 to 300 to like 700 to 800. I could make a decent deck for $200. Okay, but I still know that I'm at a disadvantage against someone else who decided to spend $700 for their deck.
Sure.
Unlike any other game I've ever played, right? And that's why I've never gotten to a CCG or TCG.
No, yeah, I think that's entirely a fair opinion to have.
So I stopped playing Hearthstone. I loved Hearthstone deeply, and it just became a money chase game where it's like I was poor and I would play it because I could play it on my phone while I was like waiting for stuff to happen at work, and I had a great time. And then it just kept being like, you have to have these cards to make a deck to do anything to get out of the lowest level of ranked. And the only way to get those cards is to drop fat stacks on packs to watch them go away in 3 seasons when they are no longer legal. And I was just like, I'm not paying to win.
They currently don't do a rotation from what I understand. So your cards at least don't.
The heroes rotate out, the cards don't.
Yeah, which is why these cards are expensive, because they're not in print anymore. And so a lot of those, like there's only so many in the community. So that's why they're expensive.
Okay, that explains a lot, because when you guys are saying like $800 for a deck, I was like, I know that some Magic cards get like that because of hype, like super hype, and Magic is not in the realm of reality.
This is all supply and demand.
But usually with most smaller like market games, smaller than Magic, right? Like a common market game is what I guess you'd say, is that number seems so huge, but now that makes more sense because the actual value of the card is
the actual cost of some decks is $1,800 to $2,000.
That's wild.
I said 7 to 8 as kind of a mid-range, but I've looked up decks that people are taking to tournaments that are north. I don't think I've seen one that's over 2,000 yet. And I'm talking cheapest printing. I'm not talking the rainbow foil. Now we're talking 30 fucking grand. Cheapest printing competitive tournament, like not local tournament, but like you want to take it somewhere, is going to cost you $1,500 to $2,000.
That is mind fucking boggling,
right?
But
for what though?
Not if those cards are consistent, right? Like I'm used to spending maximum for an expensive card, somewhere around $30 to $40, like the maximum. But that card eventually goes away, and that might be the most expensive card and the only card that's expensive in a deck for most games I've ever played. But I know that card becomes defunct after the rotation, and so it never became that expensive because it's worth almost nothing after rotation. So it's
there are a number of
that's the way this game works. Interesting.
Yeah. There's a number of banned cards. I don't know what it takes to get a card banned, but so that system exists. There are few, so I wouldn't be too worried about cards getting banned. The only worry you would have is they have reprinted cards in future sets. So if you buy a card that's super rare and they just reprint it and they include it in a bunch of sets, your value will then go down. Am I wrong?
Isn't that what they did in Magic?
Well, hold on. On the reprint thing, I think the only thing they've ever done is they reprinted cards in the Historia set, which was just a reprint set. But it was weird because it's basically all of the previous sets. You could pull any card out of any of them.
That might be true.
Even though it got reprinted, it was such a lottery to get anything good that nobody even bought it. So I don't know if that was the only set of reprints they did, or if they just reprint cards like Magic does, where they'll just include a new set. And so I don't have the information on that, but I think from what I've heard, that's the way they did that. And so basically, if you were just getting into the game, you could buy a whole bunch of the Historia set and basically fill out your bulk of the previous sets. But you couldn't target buy chase cards. But yeah, as far as Parker was talking about, the reason some of the cards are really, really expensive is because they go in basically every deck. Mm-hmm. Like if you played Netrunner, there's the generic cards like imagine if there was only so many winning hand card or whatever, the thing that gives you money. Right. You're like, well, if there's only so many of those, that card's going to be insanely expensive really quickly. Or like the really good like mercenary cards.
So I'm just looking at like Command and Conquer, which is the card I talked about that forces to discard. It was printed in Arcane Rising, History Pack 1, Dynasty. It just came out in the Hunted and Arcane Rising.
Okay, so they do normal reprints.
Apparently they are, and this is still worth $80. Maybe it was $200 before it got reprinted in the Hunted. I don't know. So yeah, if the card retains its value forever, then you can buy it and it's fine, right? Then I've just traded money for a different value. But if you spend $80 and then it goes away because it happens to get banned or gets reprinted and the value goes down, that's just a lot of fucking money. I don't mind spending money for a hobby, right? Obviously, I played minis games. I spent a lot of money. It's not a problem. But at least at the end of the day with a mini, I have something physical in my hand.
And my big problem with CCGs or TCGs is not the paying $1 for a card. I will pay $1 for the card just to avoid the bulk box. I hate the bulk box. Like the idea that I spent money for the chance to have the card that I wanted, and then what I get in exchange for that is a huge amount of waste.
It's a chance. Yeah.
I'm
with you.
Yeah, I really can't stand the bulk box.
So I took this. I took the budget deck.
Bulk box. Ugh.
I have great card luck. Every bulk box I've ever bought, I've pulled a card that I could turn around and sell and either pay for the box again.
I think you're talking about different things. Parker's saying he hates owning bulk.
No, he's talking about the box.
No, I'm talking about
he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to buy a box that's 20 packs and just open cards. Right? Is that what you're saying, Parker?
Oh no! Oh, opening cards is very fun. It's having the giant stack of commons and uncommons that I know will just be cardboard. Like that's all it'll ever be. Like just having a bunch of card stock and spending that much money on a bunch of card stock for the chance to get the thing that I want. When somebody out there has the thing that I want, the only part of trading card games I ever liked was trading. I really enjoyed opening up packs, having a card that a friend wanted, and then trading those. I loved L5R, and when we had an L5R community, we were constantly trading cards. Like that was a ton of fun. There was a big, and this was before TCG Player and all these places where you just you monetized everything. So the monetization we had was trade. It was all perceived value based upon what we liked in the community and what people wanted. And I loved trading cards. And as soon as they started monetizing everything and everything became a universal value that everyone could agree upon based upon algorithmic, data mining, then all that stuff went away instantly, and there was no longer a trading card game. It was just a money mine, right? You were just piling cardboard on a garbage patch, hoping that one of them had a monetary value. And I would much rather pay one person money to give me that card. That's why LCGs I always liked so much more, because all these cards are playable in some way, and they all have exactly an equal value. Like a miniature, right? A miniature is a very similar concept, right? This miniature has exactly the same value as all other miniatures. But
one of my favorite things about the UFS or Universes as it got rebranded was that I would buy a full case of every set that came out. And after you opened it and sorted everything, I would run out of commons. Like you would use all of the cards you opened all the time. They were all functionally playable. There was no completely worthless cards. The majority of all decks were commons because every card was designed to be played.
Seems like it's the same in Flesh and Blood. But I'm with you. Well, I intend on buying boxes never. Like I went to TCG Player, uploaded the deck of 80 cards, and was like, buy this. And it was like, let me think for a second. Okay, you'll be buying these 80 cards from the following 47 different individuals. And I was like, fuck me. I could have done it. If I clicked buy, I would have had 47 packages arriving in my inbox in the next week and a half.
Did you hit optimize card?
After I did, yeah. And then it went down to like 13.
Yeah.
So that's what I intend to do. However, there's no way I'm fucking buying a deck just because the hero looks good. Just based on the person I am. So of course they have ways to play this online. So Perrin and I are just making decks and playing them into each other, trying to figure out what kind of play style and or deck we think we would want to play based on the 15 heroes that are lowest on the Living Legend list. That means least likely to be rotated out in the near future. So that's my approach to the game. I'm not buying anything for about 2 or 3 months. We'll see.
I think she's a living legend now, but there was an Iron Maiden hero where it's like a female paladin character, and she has this like big cape, but the cape is literally an Iron Maiden. It's made of metal and it's got spikes on it, and so she like opens it up and she like grabs people with it. It's fucking crazy looking. It looks so badass.
She is not Living Legend.
Oh, there you go. You should play that one. It looks fucking
I should
sick.
play that one.
I have no idea what
Shadow
she does, but
Blade.
she looks so metal. What's the character's name?
Vincent Iron Maiden.
Hell yeah. One of our locals has a T-shirt with her artwork on it because he loves her so much.
Okay.
But yeah, our whole Flesh and Blood community is a lot of regulars. Like they show up every Thursday to play, and it's like the same 8 to 10 people. But most of them are currently getting into MCP. So.
Well, we'll see who shows up for what tomorrow.
Yep. It'd just be funny if it was like shifts in the night and everyone moves into Flesh and Blood. The Flesh and Blood move in MCP, and it's like when they switch rooms they're playing in.
I have
I'm about
sworn
10%
all card games off for all time, so will not be playing for Flesh and Blood.
That's fine. I'm 10% of Jeremy's enthusiasm, so he's really steering the ship.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and move into our Mojo world for today. We're doing horror movies. So let's see. I have a few statements I would like to make about last week's Mojo World. First off, somebody said it was very morbid, because we did, dead people and stuff. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't care. However, Josh, I do want to say that I had never been so confident that it was going to be a complete 100% victory in my entire life. I thought when we finished doing the draft, I was like, I'm getting 100% of the votes. There's no question in my mind. Like, you got straight bodied. But you got votes, so good job. You did better than I thought you did.
Let's see. I think I saw it. Yeah. I mean, wait, my vote just went down. Whoever's listening.
Yeah,
I
I voted for you because I have to put the numbers down there, and so now I'm just completing my voting.
But once you had Robin Williams, beloved
you
of
went
America,
first.
I did, and I crave challenge, so I chose Betty White. I could have had Robin Williams and won, and instead I chose the Dark Horses to see what I could do.
That's fair. No, like I said, I respect the bravery you had. But what you did was the equivalent of lining up in the blocks to start a sprint race, and you have the starting pistol, and you fire it directly into your foot. It's like that's the equivalent.
I'm running the opposite way of the way I need to go.
Exactly.
Like, wait, no, I need to lap
him. And so I'm just impressed that you got any votes, let alone a third of my votes.
Betty White,
good job.
Betty White was the only
Betty
reason.
White. She tried to pull your ass out of the fire.
Maybe one other Linkin Park fan out there somewhere. So.
No, that was the one, right? Like Chester Bennington was a big pull. That definitely helped. Okay, so this week we're going to start in semi-alphabetical order with Aaron.
Alien.
We never said the topic, so who knows what that means?
Yeah, we did. We said horror movies.
Oh, we did?
Didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did.
You did.
It's horror movies. Okay, I missed it. Go for it.
Yeah.
I already went for it.
You're breaking the wall.
I did it.
Yep. Good call with Alien. That was on my list. Good. Well done. All right. Next up with semi-alphabetical order is Parker.
I'm going to go with The Mist.
You fucking loser.
You know why?
Everyone's taking mine.
Mine. Because it's yours. That's 100% why I did it.
Fucking loser.
Because I knew you would take it. You've taken The Mist so many times, and I love The Mist.
Movie.
I'm taking it this time. It's my turn to have The Mist.
Yeah. All right. And continuing with semi-alphabetical order, we have Josh.
I am going to do the new Nosferatu.
Coach Ferratu.
Coach Ferratu.
Was he doing
a bit? Yeah.
Okay. So now it's my turn to win. Again, this is where I win. Continuing with semi-alphabetical order, Brandon last. Semi-alphabetical. All right, so
shit.
first I'm going to go with The Thing, because obviously I have to pick. It's a rule. I have to pick The Thing. Best movie ever. It fits in every category. Anyway, after The Thing, I'm going to go with The Shining.
Mm.
And it's your fault for leaving low-hanging fruit like The Thing. See, you stole the mist. You didn't think about The Thing. You should have thought about it.
I actually don't appreciate The Thing as much as you do. It's not bad. It's not bad. I
Yeah.
just like The Mist a lot more.
I just find that I have good taste, so it's
Yeah.
clearly The Thing. So, all right. Continuing with reverse semi-alphabetical order, we have Josh.
I am going to do, and I have to specifically state this one.
Oh, Jesus.
The
God.
Ritual 2017.
Why do you have to state it?
Because there is the Ritual 2024, which is not what I'm
Is it a
going
remake or is it just unaffiliated?
for. It's an entirely different movie, but they named it very generically. And the Ritual...
Is it also a horror movie?
Yes.
Okay, I'll put the date then. I usually try to avoid dates if it's obvious, but apparently
No, this is literally like I Googled it, and it's like, no, I know this movie. This is not
Okay.
the movie I'm talking
Gotcha.
about. But it's great. It's
Alrighty.
a Lost in the Woods film. So
Oh, God. All right, continuing with the reverse semi-alphabetical order. Parker.
Quiet Place.
Alrighty. Very nice, very nice. So now completing the reverse semi-alphabetical order, we have Aaron with his final picks.
Jaws.
You bastard. I thought I was going to get it. Fuck.
Followed by one I guarantee you haven't seen. Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Mm.
Was that on your list?
No, it's not. But honestly, I said because I did not imagine that Aaron had seen that movie. It's kind of out. It is kind of out there. So there you go.
I did take a master's in French, and it's one of the biggest French foreign films released. So
That's true.
I think
You
I
have a
own it in
master's degree in French?
yeah,
I did not know that. Look at the shit I learned. That's amazing.
All right. Now with the double reverse semi-alphabetical order, Parker.
I'm gonna go with my favorite classic horror movie, Omen. I love Omen. Or is it The Omen? No, this the.
that's the one with the little kid, right?
Yeah, the son of Satan, Damien.
So that
Sounds familiar.
movie caused me to almost punch my youngest brother in the face because I went and saw that movie, and I was like 16 for the remake, right, or something, right? And I'm like 10 years older than my youngest brother, and I'm like asleep, and I just wake up and I feel something in my room, and the night that I saw the movie, and my brother is standing right there, and he looks like the kid from The Omen.
Oh,
And so I just wake up out of this, and I start to swing, and he drops the Bubba, I had a bad dream. Can I sleep with you? I was like, okay, yeah, climb in here. But for a second, I was like, oh my god, the Omen
you
kid
almost
found
took
me.
him out.
I was,
Yeah.
I was wound up to swing and everything before I knew. I was like, oh, wait, I know this kid. Okay.
The original one to me is one of the coolest classical horror. It's like Gregory Peck. Like it's 1976. It's old, but it is really fun to watch. Super creepy.
Cool. I have a story for after as well. Continuing with the double reverse semi-alphabetical order, Josh, final pick.
As above, so below.
That's the name of the movie, or you're making a quote?
That's the name of the movie.
Cool. All right. Well, you guys have decimated my fucking list. So, we're gonna see if we can sneak one past the catcher here. Army of Darkness.
No.
Clearly a horror movie, right?
No.
All right. Fine. Damn it. And we're not doing zombie movies.
Oh no, it's dark fantasy comedy.
I got distracted. Oh, I'll go with this one. This one's fine. I'll do 30 Days of Night.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
And I'll 100% guarantee Nigel says the word poison pill in the review of this list. Because he's going to do it. I know he fucking is. But I don't... the movie's fine, but I just love the concept of, like, anytime they put a lot of, like, thought into how to make, like, monsters somewhat realistic. And so, like, just the logistics of the movie of, you know, what if vampires were real? what would they do to A, stay secret, and B, like, do what they want. And so it's just an interesting take on how vampires would approach being in current society. And so I really appreciate that aspect of the movie, and also the movie's fun. But yeah. Okay, we're going to now move into honorable mentions.
The Wolfman.
I have an honorable mention and a story. So when I was, I think, 8 years old, the movie Halloween H2O came out, which is very well reviewed. I don't know if you knew that. it's a triple plus scary movie, right? But I was 8 years old, and I had never seen any scary movie before. It's the first scary movie I ever saw. And we watched it on Halloween, because that's when it came out on VHS or whatever. And my friend was over, and I lived in Monon, Indiana at the time. Or rather, the closest town to where we lived was Monon, Indiana. Population like 814. Tiny fucking town. Middle of fucking nowhere, Indiana. Topical. And so we can't trick or treat. There's one person that lives within 5 miles of my house, and it's my neighbor friend who is over at my house. And we're just hanging out, and we both dressed up for Halloween, and he dressed up as Jason, but I don't know at the time who Jason is. I've never seen a scary movie. So anyway, we're sleeping over, and I get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and I had no idea to know, because we never went outside when it was dark. His Jason mask is glow in the dark, and he left it beside my bed. So I go to roll out of bed, and there's this glow in the dark Jason mask staring up at me, and I scared the living shit out of me. And so that was my scary movie childhood story. But yeah, that movie sucked. It was really bad.
I was never a fan of scary movies, but the first one I ever watched that was just a straight up teen horror jump scare movie, but I really enjoyed it. And I think it was just hit me like the right age, or maybe it was just the content. But did anybody see the movie Jeepers Creepers?
Yes.
It's absolutely just like a straight up, like, Friday the 13th Ripper. It's a Ripper movie with monsters. But I really liked that movie, as goofy as it was. Maybe because it was a little goofy is why I liked it. But
yeah, it is a little goofy.
Yeah,
I saw it years later, so I don't think it resonated as much. It was fine. It was like the only franchise trying to keep the slasher films going at the time, though.
Yeah. At the time, there was kind of a lull. There was not like Freddy versus Jason 4 or whatever. Yeah.
I guess Scream did before it, but yeah, it was basically the original slashers in the 80s into Scream, and then Jeepers Creepers was like this generation's version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like Scream was out at the same time as I Know What You Did Last Summer. Kind of, there was some in the late 90s, but the 2000s there really wasn't any.
My other really creepy sci-fi horror that I just find fascinating is Annihilation. I don't know if anybody ever saw Annihilation. It's more of a kind of a head trip horror movie.
Ooh, I should have said this. I think anyone who watches these movies as a kid, this would resonate with, but the Child's Play franchise was really good. But you specifically have to watch it as a kid. If you watch it as an adult, I don't think it does anything. Because I think every kid, like, there's all like Indian in the Cupboard and toys and all these, like, Toy Story, all this stuff where like toys are alive, and then it's just like it preys on that like wonder of a child so well. And also, it's like Back to the Future with just like the crazy off-the-wall plot hook that makes no fucking sense that just nobody questions. This random like liquor store robber guy just knows voodoo magic and transfers his soul into a doll.
Hell yeah,
no
brother.
questions asked. Like, what? Sorry, excuse me. He goes back in time to fuck his mom. What?
Do you remember Gremlins was, I think, supposed to be a horror movie? But there's a wonderful bit that a comedian does, and I think the name of the bit is Gremlins is my favorite Christmas movie, because it does take place during Christmas, and all he does is he talks about the like 12-minute, like the first 12 minutes of Gremlins, and how impossibly stupid, bizarre it is. Just like,
it's like Big Trouble in Little China off the wall.
Yeah, it's just completely, and it's not even. He's like, before you ever meet a gremlin, these are all the insane things that happen in this movie. And he just like describes the characters of the movie and the premise we're supposed to believe. It's kind of like the John Mulaney bit about like we're just supposed to believe that Marty McFly knows a disgraced nuclear physicist. Like, why does this
no one mentions it?
Why does this high schooler know a disgraced nuclear physicist? They never explain it. The start of Gremlins was apparently that, and there's so many like I love when people examine pop culture for those dead spots where we just watched something and had zero questions about, like, zero, no depth. We need nothing. Proceed, right? Just go ahead. I recommend it.
Sweet. All right, well, if there's no more honorable mentions, that's going to wrap it for us today. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hopefully you had a good time. Aaron, congrats on knocking that check out of the box. Good job.
You did it.
Yep.
Yeah. This has been Brandon.
And Parker.
And Aaron.
And Josh.
And you just listened to Are You Besmirching Me?
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.